imagine I missed chances to travel to the New York and Ethiopia, all on sponsored. I can say it was an all-sponsored conference. So I shared this story on LinkedIn and I realized that a lot of young people could relate to my story, and others took it as a wake-up call, or I could say it was a call to action type of story. And I really felt like it was wise to also share it here because it will help one or two, and for sure when it helps you, please come back and tell us on the channel. So it all started way back in 2018. I was just some 18-year-old second year girl, and I remember my first talk that I ever did in public. I was invited by Leicester University. They had a conference for university leaders, and I was talking about social media, how you can use social media positively. I was talking about how you can use social media positively and all that. So that's when I met this person who was the guest, who actually I was so honored that he was speaking after me. So you can imagine I was speaking before the guest. Anyway, so I met this person, and he's really a very good friend of mine, and I don't. So one day I get a call from him like, "Hi Anita, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh my god, he's called me, I'm good. Can you come to our offices? We need you to go to Ethiopia to represent the country in an environmental related conference." Homest am I. I remember I was with my friend Abby, and we were all happy, and she was so excited for me. And I went to town, I went to the office. So I remember sitting at the reception, waiting and all that, and that time I'm so excited. I had never gone outside the country. Leave alone the Tanzania that you see me go every, I had never gone anywhere outside the country. I think I had only taken one flight. No, I'd never even taken a plane. Yeah, I'd never taken a plane, I remember. So it tells me, okay, hi Anita, how have you been? Please share with us your passport number. What is a passport? I mean, the only passport I know is the passport photo size. So here I am, I don't have a passport, and I told him, I don't have a passport. He's like, oh no, we are sorry, then you're going to miss the opportunity. And I felt so bad. I was like, I'm going to apply for the passport right now. But something so weird is that, not really weird, it's something that happens in life, is that immediately I left the office, they found a replacement who had a passport. So I left. I knew that was not mine. So kama kawaida, you go home telling yourself, you know what, God has planned, it was not your trip, maybe even if you went, maybe something could happen, that wasn't yours. And I'm like, that wasn't mine for sure. So that one passed. I think that one was in my late 18s, or it was just my early 19. That one I'm not really sure about it, but it was between either before I turned 19 or it was my early 19s. So I just stayed, and that went over like that. And a few months later, I mean, I still didn't see the importance of getting a passport, so I didn't get a passport. And let's just say I was just a small girl. I couldn't afford 4,500 at that time. Hata ningechanga aje, like to just go and apply for a passport. So I ignored it and took it as God. That's God's plan. It wasn't mine. So a few months later, he sends me a message on WhatsApp. That time we were having the United Nations General Assembly in New York. And so he texted me, "Hi Anita, I hope you're doing good, and there's an opportunity that we want you to go again and represent the country in New York for another conference, the UNGA conference." That time the conference was so famous, if you're in this space of the SDGs and all that. So I'm sure you saw it. So I'm just like, I hope he doesn't ask me if I have a passport. But if Ethiopia required a passport, then New York is going to require a passport, definitely. So, Anita, did you get your passport? I haven't applied. I was so ashamed as I was even responding to that message. And he said, "Anita, are you really serious? Do you mean we are going to give someone else the chance again?" That day, I remember I was 19, yes, that one I remembered. I was 19, the few months before September, I think it was in September. So I woke up the next day, went to the cyber, and I'm telling this guy, oh my god, I need to apply for a passport. That time I don't even have a KRA pin. He has to open for me a new KRA pin there. So I applied for the passport. And you know, when you're going to take the passport, you have to rauka or you go late. So I woke up at 3 a.m. You know, I have to go to this New York. It's mine. I got this time. It's mine. So I get there and I get to town, Nyayo House. I think that was around 3:30 a.m. And remember, nilikuwa nimekopa pesa ya apply passport. You still, I even could not really, you know, out of nowhere, like you need 4,500 shillings. So I went, I got to Nyayo House and there was a long queue already at 3 a.m. You can imagine how many people wanted to travel. So you have to stay there, and then by 6, these people come and open the gate. So they open the gates and you start entering pole pole and all that. So nikafikiwa, and then he was checking documents. New passports, Rudy. We are only replacing passports. So you can imagine the struggle. You woke up at 3, umekopa pesa, you go to town, you queued, and then you're told it's only replacements. That time they were replacing all passports to new passports. And sikushughulikiwa, and I was like, even if you try explaining that I'm traveling, they tell you to bring a letter. You know, when you normally need an emergency something, there's normally a letter that you get, a recommendation letter from any of the offices showing that you're traveling. I didn't have that one, so I went back. But something before I went back home, I got an idea. I was like, I know someone who I really worked for during the. I've worked with his office, and I really think this is the right time for them to help me. So I went to the office. I went to the office of that ministry, and I really would like to appreciate. So I told them, hi, I'm traveling. I'm going to the New York for UNG assemblies, and I need to get my passport. So what happened is, because they're also involved in relations with other countries and all that, they wrote for me a letter. I remember they wrote for me a letter. Clara, thank you so much. So she wrote for me a letter that I really needed the passport urgently, and for sure I went that day at 5 in the, it was almost 5 in the evening. I gave out the details, then I got my fingerprints taken the same day. Everything was smooth. You couldn't even believe I was the one who went in the morning, and I was like nilirudishwa mbio. So I didn't go home the same day. I remember I had a friend who really could help at this time, because this is really urgent. You know, the way they tell you that if it's medical, it's school, or it's something, you know, that is a conference. I have to go. I have to be in the New York. And so I went to the office, and that time I found the PA, and she wrote me a letter, so requesting that I get assisted because I'm going to represent the country in the United Nations General Assemblies. So they wrote for me a letter, and I took it to the Nyayo House. Everything was smooth. My fingerprints were taken the same day, photos were taken. Yeah. So guys, I know you're wondering how, I mean, everything went smooth, and the title says I missed. I didn't make it to the New York. So I think I'll share this story on the part 2, so that you see how things really went fast and I still missed the job. So yeah, so let's continue subscribing, guys. We'll continue subscribing, subscribe, share, like, comment. I welcome all the ideas that you guys think I should also include on this YouTube channel, because it's not only about climate change and all that, it's also about life, how we can grow together in life, and how we can understand a lot of things and learn through other people's experience. So thank you so much. Let's wait for part 2. Bye.